I don't know any of these people in this Farmington, New Mexico community. Not one. I can't give you their first and last name. Don't know 'em. I don't spend time with any of these people. This isn't my community. Okay? Right, so oh, I'm starting. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint the picture, and we're starting the picture blank. It's just blank, and we're saying that I don't know not one of these people's name. I live amongst a neighborhood, and I've leased property for long term, and I do not know one of their names. I know who I pay my rent to, and that's it. I do not know any of these neighbors' names. I don't know what they do. I don't care. I'm not going to their door and asking them questions. I'm not trying to see them at the store and then ask them questions. I'm not trying to do any of that. But it's happening to me. It's the outsider, right? So what happened to Jesus when Jesus went from town to town? Right, Farmington? What happened to him? What happened? Right, he got kicked out of towns by the fucking authorities, pretty much. Why? Because he was influencing the community, saying that, look at all these people, they're doing fuck shit. Look at all, yeah, you're gonna get kicked out of the community if you keep telling the community how fucked up they are. Jesus did the same thing. But yeah, he was nice about it, and people liked him and followed him around because he was right. But that's not how the other side saw it. The other side saw it as a direct attack, and then we get the crucifixion. My crucifixion is the police and sheriff's resurrection. When they crucify me, they become resurrected. Yeah, this is the narcissist empath dynamic. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know any of these people's name. I don't care. I don't want your name. I don't want your occupation. I don't want to know anything about you. But it's quite the opposite. It's the other way around. They want to know what I do. They want to know my name. They want to get inside my pussy. I'm a threat. I'm a threat. I'm a threat. Arrest me. Arrest me. Arrest me. Yeah, you have another year to throw me in jail. Maybe you can throw me in jail for all the shit I'm saying. Good luck to you in your journey of throwing me in jail. You spend years and years and years of your life throwing me in jail. It's not working. And then when you're 70 or 80 or 90 or whatever on your deathbed, you could always look back at that one time you tried to throw this innocent female in jail for many years. Oh my God, how fucking pathetic. Low-life trash. They live their life like this, the police. It's not just Farmington, it's everywhere. They live their life like fucking oxymoronic retards. This is their logic. They have to self-reflect at some point in their life. Usually when they retire, they self-reflect. The narcissist gets worse as they get older. They don't improve. Same thing with the empath. After a certain age, the empath improves. Yeah. And then the narcissist gets worse. Yeah. Well, I learned that from FBI psychology. Actually, the psychologists that work for the FBI, I think, might be the best in the world. And CIA psychology. Yeah, we can get into DARPA. Technically, all this Hollywood stuff is DARPA. TV's DARPA. Radio's DARPA. Advertisements, those are DARPA. What else is DARPA? I don't know a lot, so I was explaining to this one guy online I was talking to, and I'm like, oh, my dad was this, and I worked for this corporation or organization. I was telling him, like, little life stories, and he goes, you're a DARPA child. And I'm like, what? He's all, you're a psychological science experiment created by a CIA kid. Your dad was in the CIA, and you're just a product of that. He had to tell me my dad was in the CIA, so I just learned my dad worked for the CIA a year or two. Well, two or 3 years now. So I grew up my whole life not knowing, even through my whole military service, not knowing my dad worked for the CIA until after I retired. Well, this guy, I was telling him about my dad, and I'm like, well, my dad did martial arts, and he's a martial arts expert, and now he's retired federal government, and he's like, your dad's straight up CIA, 101st Airborne, Vietnam, and all this other stuff. He gathered all this information about my dad. He goes, you need to, this fits the perfect profile. When you look at my dad's DD-214, they're like, this looks like CIA. Yes, that's what this guy was telling me. And I'm like, okay. So my dad was in the, so what? My dad was in the CIA. He's all, no, that means you're a DARPA child. You're a psychological social experiment. And I'm like, what? He's all, yeah, you worked for the government your whole life and you're institutionalized in colleges and schools and government. And I'm like, yeah. And he's all, yeah, you're DARPA. And I had no clue. This guy was like framing my life in a way that I've never seen before. Perspective, perception, enlightenment. And I saw it, and it's like almost like a psychological experiment. And I'm talking about this to give you some background on me, but also Farmington police. It looks like a DARPA study. That's what I'm telling you. I had to learn it too, but you look like a DARPA experiment as well, the same as I do now that I look at it, because you're under social experiment by the FBI and CIA. We don't care if you run around and try to throw me in jail. Okay, you ran around and tried to throw me. I'm aware because of what I am. I'm aware of it, right? I'm more highly intelligent than probably any female in the state of New Mexico. Right, like, you're coming up against one of the people that tested the highest IQs out of, another group of people. Yeah, just because I'm a female with the tits and a pussy doesn't mean I didn't go to college, right? You're actually the dumbass, right? They think you're a female because you're female, you're dumb. That means stupid. They straight up was like, that's a dumb bitch. Straight up looked at me and said, dumb bitch. I have more college education than any cop on your force. Yep. I'm more qualified to be sheriff than sheriff when you look at my resume. Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like a DARPA social, or let's just say CIA psychological warfare even. You look like a science experiment to me. Even though I'm a science experiment to the Department of Defense, I am. That's why the U.S. Marshal's here. He knows what's going on with DOD stuff. So, yeah, and then we get into extraterrestrial and stuff like that. Maybe later. This is New Mexico. Yeah, that's just a thing. Like, you guys have history of extraterrestrial and Air Force bases, and now I'm here, and now there's 3 dead bodies, and, social experiments, and all that stuff. Yeah, so what we do is we launch social experiment, psyche, DARPA warfare. Right, these are just some terms you could look up, too, that I had to look up. DARPA, CIA psychological warfare, MK Ultras. I'm definitely an MK Ultra. They're like, you're an MK Ultra. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I argued with this guy, and he convinced me. He's right, I am DARPA. I am MK Ultra. Because my dad was obsessed with different movies growing up, and I had to watch it. Yeah, I had to watch certain movies that had symbolism, and, you get into masonry, and the left eye, and lizards, and, yeah, in the movies, and all the movie symbolism, and Stargate. Yeah, it's a lot. I even collect DVDs and study MK Ultra. Yeah, and my dad studied MK Ultra. Yeah, so I am an MK Ultra. But I recognize it, that movies have a powerful influence over my psyche. That's the whole thing. The TV has a powerful influence over your psyche because the imagery. My channel doesn't have any imagery, so I can't fuck with a false image. So if you saw my face, you'd be like, oh, she's stupid. Because of my face. Yes. Because a beautiful woman cannot be intelligent. Your mind won't actually allow it. So I have to cover my face because you listen to me when I don't show my... See what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you just stare at my tits the whole time. Right. These are also more psychological, MK Ultra, using imagery and advertising and things. That's what we're doing with law enforcement, though, back to Farmington, is that you got handled by the woman in the red dress, which is the imagery. You saw a beautiful woman. It looked like a dumb bitch because she was so beautiful that somebody that beautiful cannot be an agent, and then boom, turns into a fucking agent. Federal. Yeah, see what I'm saying? You got fucked. And because you're so fucking retarded, and I want to run psyche experiment, back to, what I was saying, and DARPA and everything, I'm running my own now because I got educated and I worked for government forever, right? So I get to run my own psyche simulations and bait and things like that now because I'm project manager, security company, and everything. So we're going to run a different operation. So I can't run the same operation on the same department. And that's why sometimes I have to leave places. And I leave at certain times, and I do certain things at certain times, and maybe people don't understand it, and then I have to explain myself. But I write everything down, so later on, when we have $1 million lawsuits, I'll know dates, times, and peoples and stuff. So we're going to run a different psyche experiment on the Farmington law enforcement, but I'm telling them what I'm doing before I do it. And maybe some of you guys also might understand this as to why I do that, because it's part of law here. So law states that I have to tell you what I do before I do it. You don't believe me or you think I'm stupid, that's not my problem. But law states I have to tell you what I do before I do it. Do you understand? Well, police don't understand law. They're not educated in any law. They don't have any degrees. They have nothing. Right? So they're not educated people like me running around. They're low life trying to get fucked. You want to have sex? You want to have sex? Like, I'll be on an investigation with you and I'll work with you. And you'll just try to fuck me the whole time I'm trying to solve the triple homicide. Yeah, you look stupid. You look like sexual, mentally ill cops. Yeah. So we're going to run a different operation, different psyche. I'm telling you what I'm doing before I do it so I don't break any laws. Right. I'll never break a law because I have a team of DOD lawyers. And the Department of Defense has power. You guys are going to war with Russia and China. And I have detailed information as to how China's going to get here. Not when, but I know how. They'll wait till the weather gets bad. That's why they're widening the Panama Canal. So I'm not going to talk about that right now. Right, so I have details and stuff that they want. I can trade information. I'll trade you information if you want. I've done it. I've even sold information to police. Yeah. They give me $1,000. I'll tell you everything you want to know about Department of Defense lies. And you'll believe me. I'll look you straight in your eye. Right. Yeah, I used to. Whatever. I can. So anyways, you're running psyche warfare, running a different operation. You can't run the same operation. We're going to do another training program here for these guys because they must have done something. Yeah, we're going to check it out. And then you might even see aliens or, not alien, extraterrestrial. You can't say alien in New Mexico. You have to say extraterrestrial. Yeah, we might even get into a little bit of that here. And you might even start to see ships. Yeah, so we're going to dig into your psyche. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. DARPA, we're going to dig into that psychological warfare. I'm going to get inside your head and take a shit.